Yes, it's Wednesday. OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder. Thanks for tuning in as you do each and every week. This is episode 316 coming to you from the 316. Man, we got a great show in store for you. Thanks to all the disorderlies around the world tuning in. My name is D. Wells, along with the Soul Doctors and Disorderlies. We got another great show in store for you. Hopefully you're ready to walk with us, talk with us, and more importantly, talk sneakers and all that good stuff. It is Wednesday, the best damn day of the week. Man, we got sneaker events, the Sneaker Summit coming up very soon in Brooklyn, New York. We've got the Boston Sneaker Jam. There's so much stuff going on. Too many things to name, but more importantly, we're here to talk about the culture. And if you happen to catch episode 315, we were joined by the one and only Dwayne Edwards of Pensole in good old Portland, downtown Portland, Oregon, who gave us an inside look at the World Sneaker Championship. Introduced us to the players, the competitors, the designers, the people that are designing footwear for the future, but also the now. So let's get straight to it. Let's go straight to Mr. Kodoma. Man, Sneaker Summit's coming up. What are we going to do? What's going to happen? Is it that time of the day?
We're getting ready. I mean, you know, we're not new to this. We've been doing this for going on 10, 11 years. We were contacted by the Source to curate an event for their 25-year anniversary.
Good stuff, man.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to put on the best possible event that we can, celebrating sneakers and hip-hop.
Yes.
We're curating an exhibit of sneakers and hip-hop for the 25 years that Source has been in existence from 1988 to present day. So you can come by LIU Brooklyn and check that out. We'll also have our friend of the show, Cool Bob Love, in the house. So. Oh,
really? Okay.
Yeah, you know, I break exclusives right here on OSD, man, but I don't use Instagram and Twitter. I come share with the disorderlies first, because I know they're the ones that appreciate it. So, you know, we'll have Bobbito Garcia in the house. He'll be promoting his new movie with Stretch Armstrong that's going to be debuting in 2015. He may even be autographing some copies of Where Did You Get Those, and maybe selling some copies of Doing It in the Park and other things that he has. So aside from the exhibit and Bobbito, we got a lot more planned, a lot of brands in the building, a lot of sneakerheads. So make sure you put that on your calendar. Sunday, it's Sunday, September 21st. There it is, at LIU Brooklyn. So hope everybody can make it out to that.
Man, that's good. It's looking like it's going to be a great event. I know, we know, you only do it, you know, one way, and that is 100% and then some. So we encourage everyone, as they say, with the sound of my voice, within the sound of my voice, to make their way to New York City, specifically to Brooklyn, Long Island University, September 21st. The Sneaker Summit in conjunction with the Source 360. It's a celebration, truly a celebration of the culture and hip-hop and all that good stuff. Man, so what do you have on your feet, though, Mr. Kodoma?
Oh, man, what do I have on my feet? You're going to put me on the spot here?
Right, yeah, right top of the show. Come on, man.
Weekend was tax-free weekend.
Okay, so you had to come up.
So I had to do my shopping, and I went out early. I went out right when the malls opened. I scoped out all the stores, and this is what I got right here. I got the Jordan Hydro Slides, $29.99, no tax.
Okay, nice.
So the reason why I like these, I mean, people know, like, I'm not just a sneakerhead. I'm a shoe head. I like Timbs and Clarks and slides and running shoes, skate shoes, everything. But I like slides, you know. I like to have a comfortable pair of slides when I'm in the office doing work or after a hard day's run or whatever. But the reason I like these is this is one of the only completely waterproof slides you can find in the sneaker store.
Really?
Most of them have that little foam cushioning up here, and that gets wet when you go to the beach or the shower, you know? And then you're walking around but this is completely waterproof. You step out the shower, boom, they're dry.
And you're ready to go.
That's why I like the Jordan Hydro. But I got something else. If you since you wanted to put me on the spot, I
Yeah,
could.
man. Come on. You know how we get down. This is OSD.
All right, cool, cool. Well, I just picked these up because I wanted something fly to wear to Vegas, and I got these, the New Balance CT 300.
Yes.
This is a tennis that they brought out the archives this year. I think this is a collab with 24 Calates from Spain, and I got these just in time. I think they're beautiful. They're handmade in England. They have some mesh on the toe box right there, good quality. You know, bright multicolor suede, and my favorite, gum outsole.
We can definitely dig that, man. Definitely dig that. Well, sit tight, sit tight. We're going straight from Houston straight to Portland, Oregon. The one and only, the man with the plan. Dwayne Edwards is joining us once again with the Bruce Lee over the shoulder opportunities. Yes, sir. What's up, D?
I'm mute.
There you go.
Got me?
We got you 100%, man. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us again.
Yo, man, thank you for having me. We busy. We busy trying to make things happen. We got I think, let's see, what is it? It's 7:30 now. We are down to 46 hours before presentation time.
Wow, the clock is definitely, you know, as they said, the clock is. Yeah, man. It's ticking.
No, it's ticking. So they still here cranking away. They got a lot of work to do.
How are the youth holding up? I was gonna say, how are the youth holding up?
You know what? You know, actually, I just had this conversation with one of them. I said, if you have a 1, 2, or 3 in front of your age, tired should not be a part of your vocabulary.
Do they even comprehend that, though? I mean,
well, by default, they know they can't leave because they got to deliver.
That's true. That is true.
So
no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh man, you can't complain. If I'm here before everybody, I'm pushing 45. You got no excuse.
I hear you. I hear you.
No, things are going well, man.
Well, you said that they're going to it's presentation time. Who are they presenting to now?
So on Friday at 5:30, we actually gonna do the presentations. We were actually working it out now. We'll present live on Nice Kicks YouTube page.
Okay, cool.
So people can tune in and check it out. But the judges will be, we brought back Professor K.
Oh, wow, okay.
So found Professor K, so he's going to be judging. Justin
pulled him out of a, you know, he was in hiatus for a long time there. He was in the mountains somewhere, I think.
Yeah, and for the new disorderlies that don't know who Professor K is, he ran a site for a long time where he would wear test shoes and review them, right? What was that site called?
Kickstory.
Kickstory. Okay.
Kickstory.
The OG Kickstory.
Exactly. Kickstory before all these young whippersnappers, male and female alike, try to jump on the name.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, every morning, I introduce them to some sneaker history. You know, an iconic person, an iconic book, an iconic moment, and we'll post all those up. We'll post all of our morning sessions up when we launch the worldchampionship.com site. So everybody can kind of see kind of the different quotes and things that we talked about during the day. But that Professor K was one of the topics, and I was like, hey, let me see where he at. So I emailed him, and he was like, man, yeah. So he'll be here Friday, so he can dust off come out of the time machine and dust some stuff off and give the kids some solid feedback from a vet. But then we'll have representatives from Android Home, representatives from Jordan Brand, Adidas, Under Armour, Nike will be here, obviously. A couple vets in Wilson Smith, E. Scott Morris. Who else do we have? as judges. Shoot, drawing a blank, but it'll be a good 200 years of experience up there, giving them some feedback and judging them. So it won't be no scrubs.
He said it won't be no scrubs. Oh man, there you go.
No.
Man, oh man.
So it'll be 200 plus years of experience, critiquing their work. So.
Man, do you think, as as these designers are going through these steps, are they talking about being nervous, talking about making sure that everything in their portfolio and their entire presentation is good and tight? What are you hearing thus far? What are you seeing?
I would say a little bit of all of that. I think one of the things I've tried to stress to them is that, okay, one, if you're nervous, that's a good thing because that means you care. The second part of that equation would be, we've prepared you for this moment. You spent 4 weeks here for these 3 minutes. And they each have 3 minutes to present, and there's a shot clock in front of them so they know how much time it is.
Exactly.
But, no, when that's what preparation is for, man. That's what doing things a certain way and creating a process is. It prepares you for a moment, and that moment just happens to be Friday at 5:30. And and there'll be hiring managers in the audience, as well as other designers from different companies. So we'll probably be about 200 people. All from the sneaker industry, from retail to manufacturers. So, it's basically if they could pick who they could present to, they'd pretty much be in that room.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's getting tough. It's getting tough.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, this is what they signed up for.
True. This is like again. They're preparing for the race. They're in the race, and now they just got to finish.
Is there a prize or what are they competing for something?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we're in the process of Danner Boots. They're up in Portland. A good friend of mine and a teacher here at Pensole, future teacher here at Pensole. His name is Eustace. He's actually him and another good guy, Todd. They're building a world championship belt.
Oh wow, belt!
So there will be a world championship a world championship belt that we'll have on display Friday night. So you'll see the belt, and everyone goes to Las Vegas for the trade show. So on Friday, the 24 students will be edited down to 8. But everybody's going to Las Vegas to be a part of the trade show so they can see kind of what the industry is like. And then on Saturday morning, the 8 designs will be posted on SportsIllustrated.com for voting. So for 2.5 days, you can vote, and we'll announce the winner on Tuesday at 3 p.m. in Las Vegas at the show.
That is awesome.
Oh wow!
Talk about an experience of a lifetime. I mean, these women and young men and women, they're gonna be able to talk about this, for the rest of their life. Almost like saying, they remember where it all began. More importantly, so. Yeah,
and it's documented. So it's gonna be filmed and photos, and so there's evidence that it did happen.
Exactly.
But it's actually good, man. Like I told you guys the last time, it's rewarding to see people that some people never even been to the U.S. before be here and be a part of the experience and participate, and compete. But from day one, I told them, they're not competing with the person sitting next to them. They're competing with the person within. And if they can challenge themselves to be the best that they can be, if the other person's better than them, then they were just a better person that day. You'll have another one.
Absolutely.
You'll have another one.
So what are you seeing like right now? The team that was working on a couple different Jordans.
Yeah.
and they had a team where there was some people doing materials, some people doing color. You know,
Yep.
do they have to get down to one sneaker, one silhouette, or they still are working on? I think it was 3 of them when you discussed on last week's show.
They're the material and CMF color material. That's what CMF. So
Okay.
CMF color material and finish.
Okay.
Finishes. So they're working. That person is working with all 3 of those people to create a color palette for each of them, a material palette for each of them. So they become the support staff, for them. And actually, I'll walk over there in a second. Suzette's over there, and they're still picking materials and still trying to get it right. The CMFs have it, easy, not easy, I won't say easy, they have it where they still win. So, I mean, they all go to Vegas as well, but the winning team, you win as a team. So they get something as well. But we set it up exactly the way it works at a company where you're as a designer, you're not, doing it yourself, depending on the size of the company. You're not doing it all yourself. You usually have a team of people you work with. That's how we set it up. So they have a CMF person. Let me walk over a little bit so you guys can see kind of the debates and everything they got going on over there.
Okay. And I saw a sneak peek of the Genius T-shirt.
Oh, everybody's gone. Here's Suzette.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to OSD, episode 316.
So they're still working.
Working hard. There you go.
Oh, hold on. You got me now?
Welcome to OSD, episode 316. Thanks for letting us get a glimpse of the work.
Hey, I'm gonna hand it over to the students and let them walk around, and you can just pass it around to everybody.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
So when you come up to the camera, please introduce yourself, where you're from, and what project you're working on, please.
Here we go. I'm Marcus Taylor. I'm part of the Adidas running group, so I'm a CMF. So I handle. Hey, I got a hug. I'm the CMF for the team. So I'm working on a branch off on the Adidas running called LSR. And this is my board. So
now, is LSR an acronym for something?
Oh, leverage, stability, and resistance.
Ah, okay. I was glad you said leverage, stability, and resistance, and not like it's an acronym for like loser or lesser or anything like that. So okay, we're good. Okay.
All progressive stuff.
Okay.
Lindsay, go ahead.
Not so much. You can't really. Hi, I'm Lindsay, and I'm doing 2 brands. I'm doing Android Ohm as well as Undefeated. So.
Nice. Okay.
So the Android Ohm is mostly like a fusion of like higher end stuff with sportswear. That's kind of the direction they're trying to take the company. And I pulled like I'm doing color material as well as just like Marcus. And so I pulled a lot of my inspirational colors and materials from Egyptian culture and architecture and like each designer's interpretation of individuality. And then for the Undefeated brand, each person is doing a collaboration. So I have 3 people. One's doing G-Shock, one's doing Everlast, and one is doing Christopher Rayburn. And those color palettes and materials were all based off of like military infusion, along with whatever materials and colors their collaborative brand kind of brought to the table. So that's where I'm at.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So as you're working with these collaborative projects, and they all obviously go hand and foot, what have you learned that you didn't know before until you started working on this project?
I learned that. Well, it's a good question. Let me think about it for a second.
Okay. Take your time.
Well, first of all, I learned a lot about like sneaker culture, to be honest, because it's not where I started. I started with fashion, and so I've learned a lot more about just sneakers in general and like what consumers look for and like trends, as well as like the culture itself and all the things that revolve around it, colors, materials, etc. And I've also learned a lot about like military garment and textiles, particularly from Suzette, and just with my research. So that's been really interesting just to learn about like what type of futuristic textiles there are, as well as how people choose to use color within sneakers. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck, good luck, good luck.
Hey, my name is Seth. I am the CM for Under Armour basketball.
Okay, nice. So Seth, were you familiar with Under Armour basketball prior to taking on this project, or has this been something you've been familiar with?
No, definitely a learning experience, and it was a conscious choice. I'm very familiar with Jordan, Nike, Adidas, some of the other brands, and I wanted to be fresh and new and push myself as a designer to research a brand and really go from start to finish.
Okay. What in your mind, in your point of view, that you've been working on this project now for some weeks, what can you say is different about Under Armour that is part of their DNA that's very different than, say, anything offered by Adidas or Nike or any other footwear brand? What makes them unique?
I would say that Under Armour has a unique position in the market because they were and still are a performance brand based in apparel, not footwear. And so they're bringing that core performance of their apparel and the fit and everything into their footwear. And moving forward with the brand, we've really tried to kind of accent that with not, it's been interesting because these are, the kind of examples we've been given, and they're basketball shoes. It's a tee on a mesh with some color stabilization. Nothing wrong about it, but nothing really disruptive. And I think that's really where they're going moving forward, trying to build in, depending on what happens with KD, depending on a lot of different things. But
right.
And that idea of disruption really kind of informed my color story decisions. One of my my overall inspiration for the colors and even into the materials that I've chosen has been because of this really kind of obscure pattern that was used on World War II battleships. It's a disruptive pattern that actually helped them kind of distinguish themselves and set themselves apart on the water from enemies trying to target them. So it's a disruptive pattern that actually kind of messed with the targeting systems and allowed them to get by without getting torpedoed. So again, that idea of disruption and bringing that, I've made a custom pattern for each of the designers to utilize on their shoe, and through that.
Okay. What was that sneaker? I saw like a burgundy or red color. I couldn't. You just had it in your hand. What was that?
Anatomics.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Okay. Now, have you actually worn the Anatomics or any of the Under Armour basketball sneakers?
I am a size 9, so I did try on. These are all samples.
Okay.
And there's definitely room for more comfort and fit.
Okay.
Indeed.
Awesome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Steve, go right ahead.
I love patterns. I love the story that you were starting out to give there. What's the connection with the disruption as compared to applying it to these new silhouettes?
Yeah, so the pattern was developed to be a visual disruption because all the targeting systems back then were optical. So the U-boats were looking through their periscopes, they would see a ship in the distance, and the way they targeted was to judge the speed and trajectory of the ship. So the idea with the pattern was to, it's very much an optical illusion to kind of confuse them as to maybe what direction they were going or the speed they were going. And the patterns were actually proven to be about 50% effective. They were 100% effective because they would augment the perception and disrupt the way that they were seeing the ship up to 50%. And in that, it needed to be within 8% of the range and speed. So
I love that. What's the attachment to the athletic or the designs that the designers are doing for the brand? Like, how's that story plug in?
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up. It's hard to hear you.
If you're breaking up a little bit because I think it's your mic.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
A little matrixy.
Matrixy? Here, hold on. Let me turn. The thought was, my question is, I love that story about the pattern. I love that disruption. I love, the speed and trajectory disruption visually. What's the attachment, that level of thought in making a pattern for an athletic shoe?
Okay, yeah. I think I heard all of the questions. It also goes, the idea of disruption and utilizing the pattern also goes to the customer choices, like the target consumer that each of the designers has picked. We have like a young female athlete, and that specifically is a great example of how Under Armour as a brand is going and kind of tactically tactically addressing certain key categories that may not be serviced by other brands, and really trying to take that as their own and bring it into their customer base. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Because I like where you were headed with the disruption. I like that optical illusion, the inability to judge speed and distance. There's a huge story in that for a professional athlete who's moving at breakneck speed, cutting, twisting, moving toward the hoop, with an opponent directly in front of you who's trying to judge your speed and trajectory. So yeah, definitely a good attachment to where you're headed with those patterns.
Yeah. Cool, yeah. And it's also been exciting because the school is pretty close to the Under Armour office, so it's been cool to have Under Armour designers come in and kind of, because this is, again, like I said, I have no real concept of Under Armour basketball before entering in this, so this is all kind of me reading and researching the brand, and it's fun to them come in, kind of hear my story, and when I start talking about disruption and, very strategic targeting of your specific categories and really trying to appeal to the performance and the fit of a shoe, it's fun to see the designer kind of smile and nod and just like, all right, I get what you're saying. That's where we're trying to do too. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Let me take the camera, and this is Twan.
Hi, my name is Twan.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're good, man. We're excited to see your hard work.
All right. So I was tasked of having two brands, Nike sportswear for women and the Jordan brand. So just in starting with that challenge, I really decided, all right, well, what's going to make Jordan brand different and what's going to make Nike sportswear different? But also, being that they're under Nike Inc., I wanted to have somewhat of a consistency between the both of them. And how can I bridge the gap of Nike Inc. between Jordan and Nike sportswear? So if you look here, I have these gems that an artist, Carly Whiteau, she basically hand-painted these crystals and minerals with really great detail. And her process is basically going to a trade show and understanding what these rocks are about and understanding the reflection, understanding the refraction whenever the light hits it. And with the refraction and reflection, it's a little bit about the curiosity of life. It's the curiosity of what the mineral is about and all the detail that's inside the mineral itself. So I wanted to differentiate Jordan brand as a refraction and wanted to make Nike sportswear more about reflection. So those two words are pretty much my themes for both. But for Jordan, if you go over to Jordan, the consumer for Jordan, everyone and their designers had a refraction or a obstacle that they went through, and I wanted to play on the part of Jordan's story in terms of getting his first chip and the '91 playoffs with the Pistons. And during that phase of his career, he really wanted to train really hard to achieve the hump of the Pistons. And since I'm doing Jordan training, that was kind of like the core story that I wanted to play with and have that MJ in everybody of my consumers. So all the consumers that that my designers created, I really wanted to pull MJ out of them, and I really wanted to have that core of MJ of training and getting over that hump for his first chip, and in continuing training to get that second chip, and that third chip, and that fourth chip. So each of these consumers, they have an obstacle, they have a refraction in their lives in order for them to train and to be better and to reach the MJ status of their category. So I had first a young man that wants to be a professional basketball player, but he went through an ACL tear. So that's his refraction. That's his obstacle. And with that, with the training that he's going through, it's going to be backpedaling. So what that is basically you do all these trainings, but you're doing it in a forward motion. But in training backwards, you're using these muscles that you haven't used before. You're trying to stabilize new muscles and old muscles together. So that's kind of like that design story and that reflection, or the refraction of that story. Another one is the environmental change, being in a mountain area and wanting to train in a mountain area. So a lot of the performance of Jordan is really key with that shoe. So it's more of a boot that we're designing, and the materials are really heavy in synthetic leathers and meshes to be breathable and be able to have that waterproof properties in the shoe. And the third designer is doing a Israeli Special Forces boot. So his main hero is a camel fan, and it's basically a camo with the Jordan elephant print together.
Oh wow! Okay.
Those are kind of like the stories that are going through Jordan, and each one of them, it's really cored into having that obstacle of an injury or an environmental change that that person that's training is having that trouble. So with the new shoes that they're designing, the new consumers can be comfortable enough to be that MJ or bring that MJ out of them with the new footwear.
Mm. So have you found, or would you say
that was a lot.
No, would you say that the backwards training, and that's something that last week on episode 315, someone did mention, I can't remember the young lady's name, but she said that is something she's realizing, and Jesse did talk about this as well, that you look at particular athletes in football, defensive backs, but then you also look at a basketball player, particularly any player, it doesn't matter what position, they do have to run backwards a lot. What did you find in your digging, your research?
With the materials and color story, it was more about the outsole hero, and the designer and I looked at some ways to basically help visually go backwards, because a lot of the footwear that is being designed now, it's forward motion. So how do you create that look of going back and being stable enough that when you are walking backwards, you don't have eyes at the back of your head? So what materials are necessary to keep you stable in your shoes and perform well?
And you're finding any particular materials are good? Are you looking at synthetic or other types of materials are needed? Can you share any of that with us at this point?
I don't know if I want to give out my secrets yet, but
okay, don't worry. I know you got 48 hours, so you're still working.
It has to do with cobblestone and the energy created when you drop two balls down, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right. All right. We won't let you. We won't force your hand tonight. So we'll just wait for the unveiling on Friday when you're presenting, and it'll be streaming live on the nicekicks.com YouTube channel. So we appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Back to Dwayne. We'll take you back to Dwayne now, wherever
Okay.
he is.
He's hopefully he's not making someone do push-ups.
Yeah, I think there's still a tally.
Was it Sloppy Joe tonight? Last week it was Sloppy Joe night at the hotel restaurant.
I actually live in Portland, so it's probably turkey sandwich tonight at my house.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know where Dwayne went to.
Can you do me a favor? That board to your left, Talia's board, looks like pony.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little just show us what's over there?
Yeah. So with Pony, it's been interesting to watch how they've worked on their project, because it's not specifically Pony. The kind of the mission statement for this was to create a new brand under Pony, so like a sub-brand, and it's going to be called Product of New York. Kind of really.
Oh.
We get hit by the Matrix, the internet gremlins.
Yeah, too much pony. Too much.
I know.
Product of New York.
Too much product of New York. That could be Frank White. I don't know.
Shut it down.
I liked what I was seeing there on the board.
All right. Well,
I don't know, Steve. Why don't you tell us? I mean, what did he say that was? CMF, color, material, and finish.
Finish. Yeah.
Can you elaborate into that? What kind of part of the design this is, and what exactly we were looking at for the layman.
Yeah, when you're talking color, material, and finish, when you're thinking about the final iteration of products, how they're literally being wrapped. You can put it in context with any other product or any other type of design. Like, for instance, with physical design or graphic design, you're looking at color hues, Pantone colors, paper finishes, acid-free. Like, there's a lot of details that go into finishing a product for its final iteration. When you're looking at a car, as you said, for the layman, right now, matte black finish or matte finish of any kind is really big. It's a tactile feel. It's anti-shine. So when, there's a lot of people dipping their rims or spraying their rims lately. It's a big thing. That's a color and a material to establish a finish. Moving into that final iteration of how you accept or see that final view of a product. So when you're talking industrial design, now you're talking, say you're looking at furniture. You're looking at gloss, metal tubing versus aluminum tubing, steel, wood. You're looking at, is it a slick finish, a varnish? Are they veneers, or is it solid wood? You're looking at all the various parts that once the design is there and you know how it's going to work and the structural integrity is there, literally what's the in-hand finish that's coming to you. So in terms of shoes, you're looking at your leathers, your suede, the color, material, and finish. How are those things meshing together to give you your final product? It's where a lot of customizers have a good time after a shoe is done. They're stripping down leathers. They're cutting apart materials and putting them back together the way they feel the color and finish works best.
Okay. Nice. So as we're waiting to see if they can, jump back in once again, Jesse, what do you see? I mean, have you been back to Pencil to see some more of these designs, see and talk to the students?
I saw the students last Thursday night at an event, and then I was actually over at Pencil also, and they are down to about a handful of designs. Everyone's kind of fine-tuning things, and then there's also a little bit of the pressure of what it's like on the business side of what they need to do. So it's actually going to be 2 designs and not 5, and how are you going to present that design? And Zia was working with the girl, I think her name was Danielle, that we just talked to. The girl that was working on
the
undefeated and Android, yeah.
Android, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they were sitting up late at night, kicking it, getting the details in, which was good. So again, it's inspiring to see the collaboration happening 24 hours a day. I mean, these kids are really it's living, breathing proof of what the process takes, of what's going on. You know, and when those moments of creativity can strike, it's all the time. It's crazy. I'm actually planning on going over tomorrow and probably spending a lot of the day Friday, hopefully.
Okay.
Because that's when the finale is, I believe.
He said, he said they're down to what, 48 hours. So yeah. Well, we want to hear from your perspective. Certainly, readers want to read about it. So capture it. We'll put it all up on the OSD blog, and you can give that first-hand point of view.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, cool. So Kodama, as you're getting, as you're looking at this, you're seeing what these future designers, these competitors, they're bringing their A game. From what you just saw last week and what you saw, this evening, what's your impression so far? What do you think?
I think that, man, it's kind of crazy. It's mind-blowing, really. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air when you look in that classroom. I've seen presentations before, Future Soul, now Pen Soul. I've seen presentations from Nike with Kobe. This is something different, man. I think that they have a meeting of the minds going on in that room. And you're definitely seeing something, I want to say, unique. I want to say fashion forward. I mean, this could very well be the future of footwear. You look at those sketches on the wall, and there's a lot coming from that I could see going for years to come. Just by those few sketches on the wall there. So it's always interesting to see something like that.
What's interesting, D, is what we see going on at Pencil, and Dwayne mentioned this last week. Does he think that the future of footwear is at his school? And he said yes, absolutely. And then he also said, does he think it's going to be a point where there's going to be athletes and particular people that are going to be like, yeah, I want you to work on my shoe, or I want to be a part of your company, but the designs have to come from Pencil. That's what you see. What's going on? The human part of collaboration and design is very, very important, and D has it up close and personal. You're not going to be successful if these people are not at a table together, working together, and a lot of these corporations are not.
Yeah,
that's a great point, Jesse. I mean, we're talking people being really selective, but also knowing that, okay, I don't want to go and just work with the same old. I really want to work with a unique, fresh, group. I want the rookies, or can't even call them rookies because that would be unfair. That's an unfair statement. So I take that back.
Well, what it does is that it's commoditized when it's in-house anymore in those big design farms, if you will, sitting inside Nike or Adidas or whatnot. It's moving the route of most other creative disciplines where they're wholly contained units like a Pencil. If this was the furniture design realm, if this was industrial design, if this was graphic design and creative consulting, Pencil wouldn't be a school, it would be an agency.
And D would be getting his 4%.
Exactly. And so that's what it's moving toward, is just like he said, D has positioned himself to become not just the scholastic educational side,
right?
Also, not even the staffing side. He's moving past staffing. Can you imagine if he kept those in-house once he educated them? Now he's sitting on a design ranch full of trained professionals that he trained. to trust them. Now they've got a wholly contained ecosystem that pumps out the best stuff, working with that, like Jesse said, that human component to collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's when you talk about it like we're talking about it, it could be, we talked about seismic shifts. To be in the marketplace right now, how I am, looking for work and talking to these companies and knocking on these doors and being successful and being challenged in some of these places, the biggest challenge continues to be this human element. It is stripped down and non-existent in corporate atmospheres. Everywhere. It is gone. And so to be looking for that and not find it, there's not a disappointment, but it's like, where do you go to get it? I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to have OSD every day. I'd love to go to a building and have all of you around every day, and we're creating stuff, because this is creativity. This is what's going on. This isn't happening at 9 to 5 offices. Like I said, there's meetings on top of meetings about nothing.
Well, that's a natural thing too. What you're experiencing now, Jesse, is what happens with most who have a vision and have a creativity and like to problem solve. I worked a 9 to 5, and I loved my corporate job. When it came to in-house design, I learned so much about business. I was an in-house designer at a bank and at an architecture and engineering firm. I learned businesses and ways and means that I could never have learned on my own. But when it came time to be most effective at my job, I could not tote someone else's agenda. I had to be the expert. So people are like, "Oh, you work for yourself?" But no, I have 100 bosses a year, happily, because I'm doing my best job for this guy, that company, this entrepreneur, this startup. But I've got to be able to do what I do properly. And so I think that's what Pensole is starting to offer and grow into and morph into is, you know what, instead of staffing up Nike and Adidas and Puma, how about Nike, Adidas, Puma, you guys come visit us. Let us do what we do so well, and you'll get your product. We'll listen to your story. We'll build something for your brand, but we have to do it in our own ecosystem to be most effective. That's natural progression for creative types, because I had somebody once tell me, you're never going to leave that job and get a parade. When you leave, if you're a shit employee, they can't wait to kick you out. If you're a great employee, they hate to see you go. So when it's time to strike out on your own and listen to that voice and stand alone, you gotta go.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, we're still waiting for hopefully Pensole folks and Dwayne to rejoin us on the show. But in the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about sneakers that you've seen, kicks that you were paying attention to. World basketball festivities are taking place. We've got back to school taking place right now. So a lot of sneakers are being sold, bought every week. It seems like there's not just 2 sneakers. There's probably 3 or 4 that are being released. I'm going to start with you, Jesse.
You see where I'm at?
This is not a loaded. Yes. This is not a loaded question. What do you?
As we just talked about, I am in my ecosystem with my kicks.
Yep.
And this is where I have been for the last 2 to 3 weeks. That's just how it is. I haven't really gotten out there and looked at anything that's going on because I think it's all the same, and my mind is somewhere else. So I can't really tell you what's going on out there. I'm looking, but I don't know.
Well,
but I'm happy on this call in my ecosystem.
Okay.
As you can see. As you can see.
I appreciate your honesty, brother, man. I appreciate your direct, honest report. Let's go. Kadoma.
Yeah.
Trends you're seeing right now, back to school time, end of August coming up. What are you seeing right now, and what do you foresee?
Man, trends
in the next
right now.
Yes.
Runners and joggers.
Runners and joggers. Is that as we're talking the skinny boy thermal pants? That's
the trend,
Okay.
I call them sweatpants they're like skinny I don't even know.
You don't even know what to call them, right?
Are we just now talking about joggers?
Well,
Joggers
you know what? No.
He said, "What's the trend?"
What's the trend?
That's the trend.
It still is, yeah.
It is a trend, and
it's about to become very mass though. So it's been going on for a minute. I think it's about to hit the masses now, where you're going to get people that never wore joggers be like, "Oh, joggers is a thing." Like it's going to become a bigger uniform.
Okay. And Steve, you completely changed the game because you showed folks how to create their own.
Yeah, that was very, very purposeful too, because I'm not a believer, and I wrote, that's why I did the whole story behind it. I hate joggers in terms of non-functional wear. Like you said, D, don't rock thermals and tell me you're being stylish. That's what they look like. And so, for me, I like the profile, but I do not like joggers in public for style. So you've all seen me happily pin roll my chinos because I like that look, but it's got to be a slack, it's got to be a khaki, it's got to be jeans, because to me that raises the class level. So you're not wearing saggy crotch thermals, telling me that you're being stylish. So that's where my mind got to racing, and I'm like, as a designer, as a creative, I'm always open to ideas. And I do like that because I rock mostly runners. And that profile looks very good even when you dress it up. So, for instance, the pair that I made, the gray denims, the Gap denims that I converted, part of it was just about proving that I could. I'm the type that I like to solve puzzles. And
just in case you're wondering. Just in case you're wondering, I can do this myself.
I got this.
I think some people they don't even care about the profile. They just want that tapered ankle to show off that shoe that they paid a knot for. And then they've got some big Titanic of a LeBron with these tight rolls.
Exactly.
And that looks bad. That's a bad profile.
Which is why runners and trainers are taking over.
And Kadoma, that's part of why I did it, to also not just prove I could, but then prove a point also of, it's one thing to just mindlessly, like I see some dudes rocking these things and I'm like, hey, you too big, they don't look right on you, they saggy bottoms, like there's a long list of why you shouldn't be in them. Starting with, they're meant for the gym. You are basically wearing pajamas or sweat gear in public as if you are styling on me.
Yeah.
I rock selvage denims, well tailored and put together. You can't stand next to me in some joggers.
I mean, I have to agree a little bit, because I've seen some joggers that are made of some nice material, and so I'm like, okay, how do I do this? But I don't have jogger legs, and I'm not tall enough for joggers. It just don't work out that way. It's been my fight, so I'm like, I can't do this, but I can rock a slimmer pair of jeans and turn it up 2 or 3 times without pegging it and get the same look.
Exactly. And see, that's another. See, I'm glad you brought that up, because this all does go back to our footwear, our style, our total package, like we try to tell the young ones. I can't rock joggers because I got jumper legs and a track butt. It ain't gonna work on me.
Exactly.
But my jeans, my denims are already tailored for me. They fit me perfectly. If I just want a slightly slimmer leg, okay, I'm gonna cut that 1/2-inch dart at the bottom, sew them together, add the rib knit on the bottom just to make sure that they hug the ankle, and then show off the kicks. So it was a process. So I'm glad everybody kind of took notice of that. D, to answer your question about what I'm seeing, I'm glad Kadoma mentioned it, is the runners and joggers. But what I'm seeing mostly is the picture.
I got this from Reebok's marketing and agency, and they sent me these pictures.
I can't even do it.
Tell me what's so funny.
I can't even do it.
Okay.
Are you serious right now?
But wait. It gets worse. Wait. Watch. Take a look at this one.
Oh my God, I can't do it.
Wow.
I cannot do it.
You mean to tell me?
Homie is tight to the T with them. It's some Iverson.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
Yeah, okay. So we had Shaq Cameron. This is a big old event that they had, Reebok had. It looked good, all that stuff. But when I saw this picture,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was not.
And can he please stop with the with the bell bottom shorts?
Whoa.
Are those shorts or jorts?
No doubt.
Those look like jorts.
Those are past the calf.
Is that Cameron right there?
That's Cameron, yes. That's
Man,
Cameron.
them was just some high water boot cuts. Them was past the calf.
Back in the day, we used to call those clam diggers.
Exactly.
Yep. Them is past the calf. He need to bungee. He need to go ahead and bungee them.
Okay. So.
But what I was gonna say about the kicks that I'm seeing and the trends I'm seeing is to play off of what Kadoma said with the runners. But what I'm seeing is tech runners make the street now. You know, we saw a lot of Asics. We see a lot of retro. You know, I love them. I did my Kickstory on my Air Max 93s. But what I'm seeing is things like Pegasus 31, make it all the way to the street. You know, a true proven tech runner, which is honestly one of Nike's best offerings this year, not just in material and the construction and performance, but the price point. These are $99 for a Zoom Air, you know, open mesh.
I think that is, Steve. I think people just want to be comfortable, man. They're tired of paying too much for uncomfortable shoes.
Absolutely. With far less tech in it. There is more tech in this shoe.
There's a shoe that just came out. That was like $100.
The Adidas just put out
really
a response boost for $99.
$99. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think it was Adidas shoe that somebody put out, and it was like $99. I was like, that's not on trend.
Yeah.
So
they're
trying.
And they're definitely trying. It's almost as if I can liken it to health food. You know how you go into the health food section of your regular supermarket and everything is super high priced, so everybody's buying the shit, right? When that shifts, they're going to have to bring that health food down to get people to buy it. Tech runner, a tech shoe with all the same tech that you're paying, or more tech that you're paying for a $200 shoe just to style in, when I can get this for $99 and look good, it's going to make a shift.
Exactly. For real.
That shift is here, my friend.
Absolutely.
Well, we're seeing
you know
it.
You know what the next shift is, right? You know what the next shift is, right? And this is nothing new. This whole, like, I want to show off my shoes. Like, you remember we used to turn up our pants because we didn't want the denim to get the glue on the shoes, right? So we've been adjusting the bottom of the shoes for a long time. I mean, bottom of the jeans, excuse me.
Yeah.
I used to turn your jean because they were dyed blue, and if it rained or anything like that, that dye was getting on your white kicks.
Yep.
Right.
So you had to turn up your jeans, and then some people made the leather bottom jeans, so you didn't get the blue on them, right?
Right.
So that that should have been a foreshadow to the runners, to the joggers that we're talking about. The next thing is you have customizers out there. You have My Adidas. You have Nike ID. That's it. It's over.
Yep.
We were taking the production and colorways away from these companies, saying, I don't care what you made. I'll spend $100 on making my own. I'll put my logo on the back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't get
and it's been a long shift. It's been a really long
customization.
shift.
That's it, right there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a long shift on moving toward that way. Even personal history. I remember the last time I wore something that was not slim tapered to the leg, even salvage denim, I was in New York and I got caught in the rain and my straight leg jeans was dragging a mile behind me. And these are just straight legs. I mean, at that point, and this was 10 years ago. At that point, my silhouettes began to taper and get slimmer for a much cleaner look that honestly matched the level of class that I wanted to exude. Being a sneaker wearer, I needed to clean the look up. I needed to sharpen the look up. It was a conscious effort. So yeah, these things definitely evolve over a long period of time. that I know some trends go and come, but that's what trends are supposed to do. They're supposed to go cyclically. But style is developed over a long time and it sticks, and we don't often talk about that.
Another trend that I saw.
Styles are not changing. Every style that's going on right now is something we've already done.
Yeah, but what I mean, see, trends. I believe trends are what we've already done because they go and come. But we've all developed a style. It may have started in a trend, but we hang on to a style much longer than we hang on to a trend. You know what I mean? Like style becomes something personal.
Yeah,
style becomes something that we like and stick with, even if it was born in a trend. But the trend is a merry-go-round that's going to keep coming back.
Yeah, and fad is shorter than all of them.
Yeah, that's a good
Key
point.
there, merry-go-round.
See, I love that. We just defined a hierarchy here. Like, kids, take notes. Take notes. It goes fad, trend, style.
Yeah. That's how it goes. I was going to say another thing. I don't know if I mentioned before the other guys got on the call, but it was tax-free weekend here in Texas last weekend, and I hit the shops early. And I have to say, the store that drew the quickest crowd, Vans. You know, for back to school, you go into Vans, you're going to get a nice, clean, classic silhouette for $50-$60.
Yep. All the time.
Did you see the Vans collabos that are out now? Did you see the one that they did with Stamp, that all black leather one out here on the West Coast?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
There's a brand called Stampede.
Yeah.
Stampede or Stamped, whatever. And they did an all black leather with like a weave, and I believe the sole was black or white. I'm not sure. One of the cleanest shoes I've ever seen. I was like, yeah, I'm on it.
I'm still trying to track down my St. Alfred's.
St. Alfred's.
St. Alfred's Chukka. So nasty.
Mr. Dwayne Edwards, you're back with us.
D.E.
Yeah, man. I stepped out for a minute, and then the disconnection happened, and no one knew how to work a computer.
And we're just getting the introduction to the product of New York, the sub-brand.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. So who did you talk to? Ruben, or who did you talk to? Oh, you mean for color materials?
Right. We were talking about it. The designers weren't there, so I think it was Ruben covering it for. It wasn't his brand. It was homeboy from who's. It was homie from who's covering who working with Under Armour.
Oh, Seth. Okay.
Seth. Yes, thank you.
Hold on. Let me see if they're over here.
Okay.
Nope, she's gone.
She's gone. Okay. All right.
But I can take you to the designers, though.
Okay, that would be great. We'd like to hear some more about that story, about that sub-brand, because that's what it is, correct?
Yep. So they'll fill you in. So Ruben will take it. Hey, Ruben and Marcus are here.
Marcus, you ready? I'm gonna sit down now, guys.
You on the screen, bro?
Yeah, we're on the screen. This is Marcus.
How's it going?
Welcome to the show. We're good.
Thank you for having me, man.
You can see the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. So what do you want to know?
You're working on the sub-brand product of New York, is that correct?
Yep.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
So, okay, we know that product of New York is the official name for Pony, and Pony's been around, correct me if I'm wrong, since what year? 70, 75, 76?
Yeah, 76, I think.
Yeah, 76.
Okay,
I believe, yeah.
76. All right. So, what is this sub brand gonna be? What is this gonna entail? What's it gonna look like? What are you giving birth to here? Because it sounds like you're creating really from the ground up.
Yeah, it's going to be more like a fashion hybrid sneaker. You know, a little bit more pricey. That they're aiming for this new scene. They want to compete with the Y3s, stuff like that. More.
Disconnect happens, just push reload, and it's self-explanatory.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is to create a brand that rivals Y3, so it sits in that sort of new fashion hybrid space.
Okay.
I did push the brand forward into a new design direction, so that it's pretty wide open. There's not much direction in terms of how to design. The idea is to create a pony product in the same vein that Adidas has a Y3, but still have some of those pony roots within it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain what are some of those pony roots? What are some things that they're known for? What's their history that you're trying to reinterpret or make sure that don't get lost in the sauce?
Well, for me, I'm drawn to the counterculture aspect, where they sort of go against the grain, where it's much more about the person and sort of their own personal story versus sort of the superficial aspects of New York City. I think this is a much more personal. The idea for me is to give them a shoe that's inspired by certain stories that are from real New Yorkers, not just the ones you see on television or you see on movie screens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been thinking my project. I'm doing my shoe.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for my project, I've been focusing on making a shoe to solve problems for the commuter, also like a classic New York person.
Okay.
So that's also like with Pony's core values, like they make shoes for you as a consumer to wear. That's still so. Basically, I think for all of us, we want to make like shoes that look good, pushes this product of the New York brand in a new direction in the aesthetic, but still get the core values of it. It's a simple shoe and it's made for you as a consumer to wear.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
Okay.
Now you mentioned the Y3 type of parallel for Adidas. This is Pony, of course. What's the anticipated price point? Are these super luxe like a Y3, or is this just more of that taking the classic elements and polishing them up for more of that stylistic brand aspect, or do you anticipate it being super luxe?
Right now it's super luxe. We started off a little lower price, but Dwayne asked us to sort of push it even further than that, and so we decided to do a more forward-thinking design. That's something that forced us to raise the price because the construction got more difficult, more pricey.
And the materials, of course, we've been putting in a lot of work in that to make like the best materials. We're using a lot of leather and stuff like that. So my shoe is going to end up at the price point at 300. And Marcus, you're going to end up.
Is that 400 right now? We went back and forth with the price a couple times.
Yeah. Nice. I think Pony needs that. I don't think another bargain basement shoe is gonna help that brand. So super luxe sounds good.
We're trying to push it. We must help those guys.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, we appreciate you sharing and good luck with your presentations on Friday. And we know the grind and hustle. You see the finish line. It's there. So now it's just a matter of finishing strong.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words.
All right, man. Keep it up. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else is around right now? Who wants to?
Yeah, I can see. Is there some team you haven't talking with yet?
Yeah. Is there anyone else that's? I'm trying to think. Target. I was gonna say Target. Yeah, Target would be great.
Here we got Guillermo from Brazil.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome to the show.
Awesome.
How you dealing with? Are you going through World Cup withdrawal at this point, sir? Come on.
No, I'm over it already.
Okay. All right. I'm missing football. I do miss it. I'm not gonna lie. But you're working on the Target project, correct?
Yeah, it's me, Jesus from Mexico, and Jared from USA.
Okay.
We are Team Target, but I'm only here now. I'm the only one.
Okay. So share with us a little bit about what your challenge is to create a line of footwear or a sneaker for Target. I mean, or as some people like to say in the United States, Target from time to time.
Target.
Yeah. Yeah, our challenge is to develop a shoe for Target, and it has to be under $50. So we had to find a way to pick up these customers somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. We found out that Target has lots of community concerns, so that's will be our link with it. We're gonna make them. We're trying to figure out a way to make Target give back to the local community. So that's our link, I think.
Okay.
We have three different ways. I mean, Jesus is linked with art. Jared is more focused on music, and I will be focused on make it yourself and learn by doing. So you can customize the shoe.
Okay. So something that's customizable, something that again is under $50 in terms of price.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
What silhouettes are you anticipating with that kind of thought of $50 or less, community oriented? Are you looking at kind of a commuter, casual, that type of thing?
You see, for my project is Target will give classes to kids, so they will teach them how to make shoes. And my project, the shoe is a modular, so you can take the upper and then put your own in there. So you just swap parts.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell the others.
No, that helps. That helps definitely.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Nice. What else can I tell you about it? Yeah, and I also have a environmental focus, so the shoe is supposed to be eco-friendly somehow.
Okay. Is that eco-friendly being made out of recycled products or?
Yeah, one of the things is that you can make your own shoe, the upper part, so you can like use scraps of materials like old jeans or sweatshirts, so you can make with old stuff that you have.
Okay, I like that.
The original material is also sustainable somehow, like using a reprint, which is a new version of neoprene, and it's more eco-friendly than neoprene.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Cool.
Is that
Duncan Dunks is in the building. What's up, sir?
Yo.
What's the good word? Hold on. All right, we're good, man. Hold tight. What's up, sir? Welcome to the show. Welcome to OSD.
Oh, hi. Thanks.
Tell us. I was gonna say, tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Clifford Charles, and I'm from Haiti.
All right. Well, welcome to Obsessive Sneaker Disorder. What footwear are you working on, Clifford?
I'm doing underfitted collaboration with a designer called Christopher Rayburn. So I would like to kind of show you guys some of the stuff that I'm working on as well. This is I don't know if you guys can see the back.
Yep, we can. Perfect.
This is some of the color. We pretty much have a final rendering and marker. So now we just have to finalize the presentation, and we have the actual show on Friday at 5:30. So we pretty much wrapping things up, working on our prototype, just doing tape-up models, all that good stuff. So it's been pretty.
Okay. So you're undefeated. You're undefeated sneaker. Is it a lifestyle or is it a basketball?
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. I'm actually doing parkour because we had to have some type of sports oriented because Undefeated always been supporting urban sport. So I chose parkour because it fits right under um, urban sports. It requires a lot of running, climbing walls, jumping. So I feel like there was a lot of important keys, problems that I could have solved. So that's why I chose parkour. So it's also lifestyle because of Undefeated.
Right, absolutely. Well, with Undefeated, their lifestyle brand that is easily recognizable by their logo. How do you incorporate their logo into your design? Have you given some more thought about basically the five lines?
But they had give us some examples. This is the dunk. This is the dunk, and this is just kind of how they have their logo, very minimal on the side. Got a hyper, and they have that logo on the side. So I wanted to keep that same effect.
Okay.
This is this is some of the finals that I'm working on. I have the logo sort of like in the same area. So I didn't really want to play around with the logo placement. So this is like my final rendering.
Okay.
I'm using just designer. This designer Christopher Rayburn. He used like parachutes, and he recycled the material, and he creates like bags. He creates like translucent apparel. So I wanted to incorporate that in my shoe. I used some of the nylon stripe that it's currently using in some of his bags, and incorporate that as a support for the ankle. And I use the nylon as a protective for the upper of the shoe.
Okay.
And I try to solve a lot of important function as far as parkour goes, flexibility on the forefoot, and traction.
Yep.
That's mean. Woo.
Focus on traction, and I have some colorways for like different, for a different target market, and a lot of sketches. 3 weeks worth of sketching is just sort of, minimize them to like the most recent ones.
Okay.
But in the presentation, we'll be showing most of the process and how we get to our final concept.
Okay. Clifford, how do you interpret, or how do you put pieces of who you are into your design? What are you able to give us some insight to that at this point, or you want to save? I don't want you to put your stuff out there unless you, because I know this you're presenting on Friday, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was always sort of artistic, and I play a lot of sports as a kid. So I think I sort of incorporate those facts into the projects that I'm working on. And sports has always been an interest. I would say the way I put myself into it is just the research that I've done to solve the problems that I wanted to solve, and just keep it true to the consumer and try to have the best product that I can possibly have. So.
Okay.
Is the silhouette an official mid cut? Is that the look or the functionality you were going for?
Yeah, I was trying to protect. I was trying to protect the ankle. I was also looking at other sports, and like sports like basketball requiring a lot of landing, and you need ankle support. So I wanted to incorporate things like that into my shoes. I also look at rock climbing for support in the 4-foot area, and look at other technology to help improve my actual shoe. I wanted to go with a mid cut because I wanted to also protect the ankle from injury and better lock down.
Okay.
Because when you do risky activities, last thing you want is your shoes coming out your feet. So I wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's smart. You know, with a lot of free running and parkour shoes, or the shoes that people use when they're going for maximum flexibility, they've often had to sacrifice ankle support.
Yeah. No, that's
cool.
Totally.
In your in these renderings I see here, did you think about incorporating the undefeated color scheme more, not just their logo?
I look at some military. They have a lot of military. I don't know if you can show them their wall here. Yeah, I have multiple colorways. As you can see here, this is a lot of undefeated. Oh, you can show this wall.
Okay.
Like this wall, this is a lot of collaboration of undefeated products, and you can see the colorways changes very often. But the fact that they want to collaborate with a different designer, so I wanted the shoe to be like the silhouette to be undefeated, pass it on to the collaborative designer, so that designer will choose the colorways and the material choice.
Okay.
Yeah, I like how you brought that in with the use of the nylon, because this particular designer did parachute conversions.
Yeah. Clifford, thank you. We appreciate it.
So this is a design that you're doing, but it's like a mock between undefeated and a designer.
Yeah.
They always collaborate with a brand that already have shoes, but this time they want to have their own shoes. But the fact that they always collaborate with a different brand in the past, they still want to keep that tradition. So this is why I chose Christopher Rayburn, and the reason why I chose that specific designer is because it's using military product, and undefeated also about on the military theme. Sports is war, and so I felt like there was that connection, and they can work together.
Okay.
Nice.
Clifford, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing that with us, and good luck with your
work, Clifford. I see you, man. You can smile now. That's right. I'm still watching. I see you. It's good work, man.
Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem.
These presentations on Friday are going to be amazing, and we definitely have to go over to Nice Kicks to watch the live and final presentations, and we encourage the Soul Doctors and Disorderlies to support, continue to support, and Soul Footwear Design Academy, as well as World Sneaker Championship. The belt will be presented. Someone will be going on to Las Vegas, and man, this is we continue to see some great designs. Who do we have with us this evening?
What's going on? My name's Stefan Cristobal. I'm representing for the Philippines.
Awesome. Represented for all the Philippines? Man, that's a heavy weight.
My boy Dexter's here too.
Okay, Dexter. Okay. He's Dexter style. There you go.
He got a bit more of a tan than I do, so that's all right.
So what project are you working on, man?
Yeah, let me pull you up over here. I'm working on the Android Own brand, which is the designer lifestyle. And so I'm pulling inspiration from the Egyptian afterlife and trying to create like an iconic silhouette for the brand that's inspired by Egyptians and also like this weird, crazy, futuristic spaceship dealio. So like,
damn, I love it. Stargate.
Excited. All right. Yeah. So I mean, it was difficult because you don't really have a price point. So like for $550, you can do whatever you want. And when Javier came to the spot, he was like, yeah, the only problem that we're trying to solve is like being able to stunt at the club, feel good, and like pick up chicks, you know. So I was trying to like I was trying to make it too basketball, so he wasn't really feeling that. So I was trying to like tone it down and make it a little more simple, so it came up to these joints. And these are some of the other colorways. I don't know if you guys can see those.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
So I'm ranting a little bit. I'm running on those sleeves.
Egyptian inspired, but also spaceship. So that's a melding. That's a hard blend.
That's a life metaphor for me.
I'm trying to make it not like Ancient Aliens, you know, because that would be a bit much. But yeah, talking to Javier, he's really inspired by like ancient math and like the golden ratio. So I actually designed it all the angles and shapes correlate in size based off of like the Pythagorean theorem, which was that fool had me doing math and that kind of sucked.
Golden mean. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Maybe pull you up to this. Give me 1 sec. I'll pull this up.
Hey, where's what's his name in Atlanta?
In Atlanta. Who?
The bouncer.
Anita Heat. He's not on tonight.
We need him to see if that would get in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, that would get in the club.
Yeah.
Anything is getting the door these days.
Yeah, you definitely get in the club with those.
Space Egypt is in VIP.
Yeah. That's called bottle service.
I hope so.
with the sparklers?
I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm working on like a Photoshop render. So the idea is like this sneaker, like most sneakerheads are worried about, you know, like the shoes getting scuffed or dirty and the midsoles, like, you know, staying white. But my idea is that like the shoe gets better with age. So I'm using oxidized copper that will oxidize over time and a midsole that the finish will fall apart, sort of like you'll get some crackles, sort of like in the pyramids. So you don't really have to worry about getting bad. It's like the more you wear it, the cooler it gets, you know. So you got less leather, so we'll see what's
I like that.
Space Egypt.
I like that. Stefan, that's good stuff, man. That's really good.
Man, I'm watching Stargate after the show just because of you, man.
All right, bro. Yeah, sorry. Like again, sorry for the rant. I'm like super tired, so.
No, dive in. That's when it happens. That's the night crazies, man. Do it.
Yeah, you know we're stocked up on Red Bull, so I'll be here for a while. So.
Yeah, there you go.
That's when the good stuff happens.
Yeah. All right, it was nice talking to you. I'll pass this back
Thank you, man.
Cliff.
All right.
Pass it on to someone.
All right, Cliff. We appreciate Stefan. We appreciate you joining us.
I'm gonna just see if there's other designers that wants to, you know, give some feedbacks on their project.
Okay.
Oh, I heard him talk. We could talk about this elephant print that we just walked around on as a day.
I think somebody wants to talk about an elephant print.
So we should mention that.
Is that the elephant print that's been on the floor?
Yeah, dude.
For the last few weeks?
That's how we roll here. We're just walking all over it. We just got high.
I tiptoed around it when I was out there.
Right. So one of the things I noticed, like, in the first day or two, like,
good. How are you?
And then, like, after a while, people are like, okay, they take a step on it, and then by the end of it, we're just kicking it around.
Steve's the only person you see, Suzette? I hurt my feelings. Steve's the only person you see?
Uh-huh.
But don't TV though. I'm leaving.
There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, Jesse, did you get to go back and see that thing she told us about? Because I didn't get to see it.
No, but I will. I'll make a point of it. I ain't forgot, though.
Okay.
All right, we appreciate Clifford. It's all good. Just put us back to Bruce Lee. Take us back to Bruce Lee. There we go.
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
There we go. Right there, Bruce Lee. Oh,
nice. Fist of Fury.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Perfect. We appreciate it. Listen, I'll say it again. People, make sure you go over to Nice Kicks on Friday. Tune in live. Watch the final presentations for the World Sneaker Championship. Some people, some designers, their dreams will definitely be coming true and making that trek from Portland, Oregon to home, and then eventually on to, more importantly, to Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes, Sin City, where it's going down, for the final stuff. So, man, we've had a great show. 2 weeks in a row. Next week, we actually have a footwear designer, and I will say she is going to drop more dimes and more gems about what's going on outside of traditional sports that are well known here in the United States of America. So you're definitely going to want to tune in to episode 317. When you see the announcement this weekend of who will be on the show, we want to make sure you tell your people where to tune in next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But between now and then, we want you, as we start walking to our 7th year anniversary of OSD, the talk show, the little talk show that has grown up and then some. We want to hear from you. We want you to tell your kick story. Tell us why a particular pair of sneakers are important to you. Record it. Send us a 90-second video. Send it over to info@osdlive.com. Upload it. The best thing to do is either upload it directly to YouTube or Google Drive or WeTransfer or something. Dropbox it. Hit me with the link. We want to put it up on the OSD channel as well as share it on the OSD blog. We want to hear your kick story as you talk about why kicks are this particular pair of sneakers or a particular pair of sneakers are important to you. So, Soul Doctors and Disorderlies, just go down the line, as they say. Jesse, parting words. What you got to say? Shout it out, loud and proud.
Get those kick stories in. Let's continue to move the movement, make the movement that is OSD. So I got a little special something in the mail that I'll be repping in my video, which is why I haven't made it yet. So make sure that you are representing the crew at all times. But walk good, everyone. And people over kicks. A lot of violence in the world going on last couple of days. Make sure you're appreciating the people you're with.
Absolutely. And Dr. Ridiculous, I haven't looked at yours yet, but I see you've been busy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Finally got mine in. Mine's a little bit longer than 90 seconds.
Hey,
but,
you can do that.
Dissertation.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, right?
A little bit.
I'm a storyteller. It's the art of storytelling.
Exactly.
You know what? I just like to say to the heads out there, keep doing what you do. Stay positive, like Jesse said. And I think one thing that we skip over with all this athletic wear is go move your bodies, man. Like go be fit. Don't spend all this money on an athletic shoe and not do anything with it. Form is definitely following function. So your kicks will fly. It's all good. But on the whole, don't just support these athletes. Everybody that has it was once said, everybody with a body is an athlete. Like, get out there and move. Let's be healthy, y'all.
Absolutely. Dr. Duncan Dunks, what do you got to say?
Not much, man. Just I tuned in, check what's going on. I'm gonna do my second kick story.
There you go.
So I get the rock pair and I get to hold a fresh pair this time. So that's good.
Okay.
Getting fancy.
I'm telling you.
Nah, it's not. It's sort of just came out, but I got a story like everything that I've been copping recently been stuff from when I was younger, and I'm happy that it's coming back. So this just came back, so I'm happy that I didn't know the Kickstory was happening when I was ripping and running trying to get what I was getting, but it happened like that. So, and I get I'm gonna go outside and do it this time.
There you go.
Go and stand in front of my junior high school. Make a little fun. And then I'm gonna tie in my daughter. She gonna film it.
There you go. That's what's up.
Oh, see, that hurts, man. Now I wish I was in Boston. That shit would have been off the hook.
That's all right. We'll get to recording your kick stories. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 316 is in the books. It is roughly 2 minutes before 12. Eastern Standard Time. Keep those kick stories coming. Talk with us, walk with us, connect with us on social media everywhere, OSD Live as well as OSD Crew 365. Until next week, keep your laces tight tightly, your tongue loose, walk good, and y'all be safe.
No music? D, you there?
You still on the air, dude. You can sing if you want to.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.